Howdy, folks. It's your boy here, and we are back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes for you today, and today's video is a request from our friend Raymond Kang, 9813. Raymond says, can you do another video like this, but for current units? And the video in question is top 10 units of every color. Now, we're not going to do top 10 units of every color. We're only going to do top 5, but I do have 3 honorable mentions for each because doing top 5 is way too limited, and there are a lot of units that can actually contribute quite a bit right now. So we're going to start things off with Red, and our first honorable mention from Red is going to be Caden Lindy. Of course, this unit has the excellent ability to provide terrain bypassing as well as null follow-up support to all allies in 2 spaces. Really strong on your cavalry type units that are able to just bypass the trench tiles and move in and start attacking. So that's pretty much the main reason why this unit is very useful to have around, and they can also pop a duo button for some extra action economy. Offensively, though, they have fallen off tremendously. They are not very threatening at all on offense. Okay, next up we have Brave Seliph, another honorable mention here from Red, and this guy's reach is really what is keeping him alive. Being able to move 4 spaces and then Kanto back 2 is tremendous for these melee calves right now. You can also run hit and run on him, which is pretty common, so that he can effectively get Kanto 2 even if the opponents have Kanto control somewhere. And he's still got his built-in miracle effect for protection, so all that stuff is really good. And we have, finally, the Tea Time Ira for another honorable mention. Pretty much the same reasons as Brave Seliph in the fact that she can just get +1 movement and reach really far. And then she's got even more Kanto than he does with her Kanto... What was it again? Kanto Distant? I think it is. Like, how many spaces you move, you get that same amount back as Kanto. So, pretty strong stuff. And then, of course, as a player phaser, she can deal a lot of damage. Her stats and her DPS has aged a lot better than Seliph, but, I mean, they both pretty much function the same way. 4 move calves that can run in and just start beating shit up. Okay, now we move on to our top 5 red units. So we're going to start things off with the Springtime Chloe. Now, this unit is basically just legendary Hinoka 2.0. They're able to provide charge support to your allies. Not just charge, though, but also attack and speed up 6 as a blue bonus, as well as 40% initiate DR for all of your allies within 2 spaces. So if you thought giving charge to your flyers was good, how about giving it to your armored type units, your infantry type units? Pretty much everybody is able to get charged with this unit, and even calves benefit from it too, because it lets them charge through the trench tiles and just not have to worry about getting movement limited. So this unit's really good for pushing forward. Now, there are better units right now that have Warp Bubble, so it's not like Warp Bubble is this super niche thing. But this unit can also replace their B skill for pass if you want. Like, Occult Strike is really nice for DPS, but they don't have to run it necessarily. You can give them Flared Sparrow for the A slot for some more damage, and then they do have a duo button, which is pretty useful. Gives special cooldown reduction of -2 to all allies from the same titles, and they have some pretty goddamn good titles here. We've got Engage and Awakening, so no shortage of good units for that. Alright, next up we have the Wind Tribe Dagger, who has the ability to give Pathfinder support to whoever her support ally is. Really good effect, and Pathfinder right now is just dominating the meta. We have 3 units available that can provide Pathfinder support to your team. This is one of them, and the other 2 are, of course, going to show up on this list when we get to them. So just having the ability to have Pathfinder on 3 separate teams is super busted, especially for SDS. I was able to get to rank 1 in SDS by having triple Pathfinder teams. So even if you veto 2 of them, I still have 1 waiting in the wings, so you can't fully stop me from running a Pathfinder line. And of course, just having Pathfinder, the ability to just push in forward, get extra movement, and attack the enemies when they can't reach you is pretty busted. So of course, all that stuff is really nice. And offensively, this unit can contribute quite a bit if you want. You're free to run some better skills on her, like you could give her no quarter for the special if you wanted to. You could give her AoEs even if you wanted to. You can give her Prime 4 for the A slot if you want to go with that. So quite a lot of options with her. All right, then we have the Duo Winter Byleth, another top 5 red unit here. So this is It's between this unit and another unit we're going to look at as who the best far save unit is right now, and far save is very useful to have. They also have a really good duo button where they can give pretty much Goto's support effect to the whole team for one turn, 80% protection against AoEs. Then you're also getting Surveillance Shield on them too, which can come in handy, and you're getting some stats out of it as well. And Hexblade too, so even more DPS potential for them or your allies to take advantage of. So pretty strong unit. They've got a really good kit here. They have Null C built in, which is pretty much mandatory right now. Well, I don't want to say like mandatory, because there are some top tier units running around that don't need Null C, but pretty much Null C is the way of the future right now. So them having it is awesome, and they can take full advantage of it. They can nullify DR, and they've got Scowl and like all sorts of really strong baiting effects. So there they are. We got the Ninja Sanaki up next. Really good duo button. They can act again after KOing a foe. Really strong DPS. They've got a lot of res, so they can take advantage of ploy skills. And then from there, it's just like going to be an ass whooping. They inflict exposure, they inflict ploy, and then they're hitting so hard with their weapon effect, giving them a brave attack, and then cutting DR, and then bonus damage. It just really hurts getting hit by this unit. So there they are. And then coming in at number 1 for red, we have the brand new Emblem Ike. This guy is an absolute nightmare for Aether Raid's defense teams right now. Like, I don't think there's a way to beat him for Aether Raid's defense teams. A well-supported Emblem Ike, when you're giving him support from other light season mythic heroes like Goto or Lumera, that can offer AoE protection for him, and then you couple in the fact that he's getting like plus 15 or plus 20 HP from blessings, it's damn near impossible to kill this guy with an Aether Raid's defense team. So he's just the eat glue Aether Raid's offense unit right now, but also he's really good in summoner duels as well, because it's equally hard to get rid of him there, but it's not impossible. Like, there are more counterplay ways to deal with him in SDS than Aether Raid's defense. But I mean, this guy just brought tanking back to life. His B skill is amazing, giving you 20% res-based or defense-based DR, which is awesome. It cuts your regular DR, but then it also nullifies the enemy's DR and gives you in-combat Special Spiral 4. So, like, what the hell were they thinking with this B skill? It's, like, insane. So, there we go for red. Okay, now we have blue units, and our first honorable mention is going to be Legendary Chrom. The oldest unit that still is a top-tier unit. I don't think any unit is older than him that's still as good as him. So, pretty awesome stuff. He's got the action economy with his To Change Fate, and then he gives himself bonus doubler now. He could be a really awesome stat ball. He's a really nice DPS with his effective against armor, and he's just really good. Alright, then we have Brave Chrom. Again, action economy is the name of the game, with him being able to use To Change Fate and then move again. He also steals allies' bonuses, so him with, like, Eye Green, Harmonic Eye Green, where he can snag +1 movement and bypass terrain, so he doesn't have to worry about trench tiles anymore, is a really, really strong combo. Then you can give him stuff like AoEs, you can give him Miracle, you can give him Prime 4, like Alarm, attack speed. Like, there's so many skills you can give to this guy. He can be a wall buster, he can be like a, I don't want to say like Omni Tank, but like a melee brawler with Miracle support to keep him alive. Like, there's so many things you can do with this guy. He's just really good. And then we have Duo Thor coming in as our final honorable mention. I actually haven't looked at this full-size artwork in a while. Damn, Loki showing off a lot of cake there. Okay, so this unit is still really good because their Duo button resets all enemy bonuses, which is very, very strong, of course. Right now, we entered the start-a-turn bonus meta, so all of these really good units are just giving all your allies, like, start-a-turn support. So being able to turn that off is really effective. Also, they have Stall, which is equally as effective. Right now, the meta is dominated by +1 movement and Pathfinder. So having a unit like this for the Stall effect and being able to give a middle finger to units getting +1 movement is always going to be nice. There are counterplay ways to get around her, but it's not really that easy to do, even when you have those tools at your disposal. So there we go for the honorable mentions. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look at top 5 blue. So we have Freyr, King Freyr, awesome unit. His C skill just nullifies all the bullshit. So the unit we just looked at, Thor with her Stall, trying to shut down your +1 movement lines. Not so fast. King Freyr just says no to all of that. He's also really good against, like, the level 3 or the gold border ploy skills. He can nullify all of those. He can nullify Hortensia. He can nullify, like, all of these out-of-nowhere units that just start of turn debuff your entire team from wherever the hell they are on the map. None of that is going to fly with King Freyr on the team. So he is just an amazing unit to have. Also, the support, giving defense and res up 6 and resonant shields really, really powerful. And, I mean, he's just waiting for a beast skill that lets him transform for free. We don't really have one that he wants. We've got Beast Sense 4 and Beast Agility 4, but he doesn't really want either of those. He wants something a little bit better. So, man, I cannot wait for him to get his really good beast skill there. Okay, we've got Winter Edelgard up next. The previous Eat Glue Aether Raid's offense unit prior to Emblem Ike. I mean, it could not be any easier in the world to Gale Force an opposing defense team with this unit than anything else. She's also pretty effective in summoner duels as well. You can have her just sweep 3 units in a pinch, like right at the end. If you manage your action economy really well, and you get into a position or a situation where you have more actions than the opponent and you have Edelgard on the team, like, things can go awry very fast for the opponent. You just find a way to get her in, and then she can pretty much take out over half of the team all by herself with her triple action movement. So, really strong unit there. We've got a Tuned Ivy here. Of course, really powerful unit as well. One of the best player phasers right now with the amount of reach that she can do with +1 movement. Or you could even go the support route with giving her the ability to warp in instead. But I prefer just having the +1 movement with her. Because, of course, like I said, Pathfinder is very strong and just combos so well with +1 movement. Then she has the Potent ability. She can hit the enemies 3 times. She's doing a lot of damage. She has a lot of protection as well. So it's not too easy for tanks to get rid of her. And then she has color advantage against a lot of key threats that are red, like the Emblem Ike and also the Winter Byleth right now, which is all really good. So very nice unit there. We've got a Tuned Sheeta as well. Really nice frontline unit. All of a sudden, these infantry, quote-unquote, Omni-tanks have came back to life. You could just throw this unit in front, and she doesn't really have to worry about anything. I mean, there are things she has to worry about, but, like, not really too much. Her B skill is outrageous, giving her a ton of true DR. Not quite as much as Emblem Ike, but quite a lot anyway. The one downside to her is that she doesn't have Null C, where Emblem Ike does. So he's able to counterattack and clap enemies where she can't, but still a very, very powerful unit. Very good tank there. And then I would say this is currently the best blue unit right now. So, of course, we have the Desert Eye Green. Really nice duo button. Just good for action economy and also just DPS. They get treachery out of that shit, which is nuts. They give +1 movement to all infantry and armor types, and then bypassing of terrain, so you can move through trees if that ever becomes a thing. And then their kit is just, like, so focused around spamming AoEs. AoE, like, this unit is the reason why AoEs are such a threat right now. I mean, they always were, but, like, this unit exemplifies it so crazily. Like, when you're combining treachery with AoEs, it's just nuts. Like, it's actually unfair how much damage this unit can do. So this is the reason why we need tanks like Sheeta and Ike and all that stuff. Really dumb unit. Okay, we're moving on to green now. So we've got our 3 honorable mentions. We have Legendary Robin. Really good unit just to counter pick like Hortensia and Duo Micaiah. Like all of these out of nowhere debuff units that can try to mess with you. You can like get your stats back with this guy. He's also nice for Kanto control, so he can do some things. We've got the New Year Dagger, who's finally fallen out of top 5 in my opinion. Not just because of like her falling off in general, but just because we have better options for Pathfinder now with the Mythic Dagger and the Wind Tribe Dagger. But still really good, and you can only pop her duo skill for 1 turn, which is where you're getting the absolute utmost amount of Pathfinder. It's for your whole team. But that being only for 1 turn is not quite as good as like the support Pathfinder effects we have right now. So that's the reason why they're down here, but I mean, still on that 1 turn, you get the party-wide Pathfinder. It's like lights out. All right, and then we have the Arcane Lucina here as a final honorable mention for green. Action economy with her Future Vision is really good. And then she can do a lot of debuffs mid-turn, which is nice because mid-turn debuffs get away from King Freyr's start-of-turn protection. So you pop her swap ability, and then you're hitting them with snag 4, and then she can run in and start attacking people. Leads to a lot of damage and a lot of good potential there. So great unit. All right, top 5 for green. We've got our Desert Altina in here. This was close. Like, I was debating whether or not I wanted Lucina or Altina in top 5, but in the end, I edged it out for Altina. Really good unit. Like I said, these infantry tanks out of nowhere have made a comeback, a resurgence, and she is the premier one for green. So really great stuff there. Her special is awesome. Gives her nullification of DR and then a lot of, like, non-pierceable DR. You could run the new B skill from Ike on her, but then you'd have to change her special, and that's, like, kind of iffy. I don't think you really want to do that, so maybe not, but, I mean, could be an option if at some point we get, like, a better inheritable special for some reason. You could also just give her Emblem Ike's Ring to get even more non-pierceable DR against ranged enemies, so, like, that's the thing for her. All right, we got the Halloween Anna up next. This duo button is one of the craziest because it just pre-charges whatever special she's got. So you could just toss her into battle with an instant miracle if you wanted to. She's giving so much support to the allies with... You can do so many things with her. You give her Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, Rain Snap, or you could give her Rain Snap and also Soaring Echo, so like she can provide warping and mobility support. Unbelievable stuff right there. Then you combo that with Prime 4, Gambit 4, like she has Hexblade on her weapon. She's got Canto 2. Really good on these melee type units that they can hit and then get away even if the enemies have Canto control. So just a really good unit. Still one of the best green units in the game. I thought they were number 1 up until a couple of other units came out, but yeah, very nice stuff there. All right, we have the Mythic Dagger with her remix. The ability to just support allies with Pathfinder is so stupid, and she's able to do that. But it's not just that. Now this unit is actually a really competent, like, brawler, too. Her weapon is giving her so many stats. Her weapon and B skill combined, just like... I saw this list on the subreddit once where it was, like, talking about the top speed units in the game right now, and this dagger was, like, all the way at the top of the list. So... yeah, I mean, if you want to win speed checks as, like, a melee brawler or, like, a god... I don't know if we could call her a god sword, but, like, a god axe. This unit can definitely hang with the best of them. Also, she's got Unity built in, which is a really nice counterplay to, like, units like Hortensia and Micaiah running around right now. So, really good stuff there, but really it's just the Pathfinder that sets her apart. All right, we got Legendary Camila up next. Another stupid unit. Just... melting the hell out of the enemies. Like, we needed tanks to make a comeback, and this is one of the reasons why. So you can do that, and then she also has the ability to give allies DR piercing. Really dumb support there, but now, like, they're countering that by giving us so much non-pierceable DR that it is starting to not matter quite as much, but it's still really good. And then she also is another one of these units that has unlimited range debuffing. It's the nearest enemy to her, wherever they may be on the map. They're going to suffer speed and res -7, and then sabotage, and then it chains to enemies in 2 spaces of them. So, it just, like, complete nonsense, man. These units are just getting so stupid. And then we have this guy, like, does anyone really want me to talk about him? Probably not. So, okay, he's number 1 for green. Should not be any questions why that is. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our final set of units. We've got the colorless batch now, so we're starting with Fallen Maria. Really nice supporter, and if you can't tank anymore, then, like, Miracle is the next best thing you can do. Just, if you can't live, then force yourself to live. And then with the full heal as well. You can shut her down with Fatal Smoke 4, but that's, like, hella niche. No one really runs Fatal Smoke 4 other than Yunaka because it's on her base kit. But you shouldn't really need to worry about Fatal Smoke being a thing. Actually, maybe Fatal Smoke will become meta because of this guy, but I mean, that's, like, far into the future. We need to wait and see if that actually does happen. But, okay, like, this unit can do a lot of things. You can run Canto Control for more support, and then also, if we ever get an odd or even recovery Sacred Seal, which I think would be a great idea to do, I should probably do that, too, like a top Sacred Seals that we need video. Maybe in the future, but if we ever get, like, odd or even recovery as a seal, and you can give it to her and then run the opposite one for, like, permanent recovery, that would be really good right now. So, like, staff units, they're just, like, an inch away from becoming absolutely cracked. So, we need that shit. Alright, then we have Gulveig. Not quite as unbelievable as Winter Edelgard, I would say. She's the only other unit, well, there are actually a couple other Edelgards that can take 3 actions in a turn, but there's not many units that can take 3 actions in a turn, and she's the only one that's a ranged unit. So, like, the amount of reach she can do, and then, like, take the triple actions. And like I said, if you tuck her away to the end for SDS or SDR, and then you get to a position where you have more actions than the opponent, and she is one of your final units to act, like, you could just clean sweep the opponents right there, take out 3 guys, and they don't really have a way to answer you. Like, late game, it's just GG with her and Edelgard if you're not being careful. So, very devastating late game unit. And then we have Goto here, because we just have to mention his support ability, which out of nowhere just skyrocketed in value, mainly because of this guy. Like, this guy with Goto support is damn near unkillable. Because I think the only unit that really beats this guy one-on-one was the Desert Igreen, and that's no longer the case if he has Goto support. So, like, yeah, I mean, this guy, we got to mention him. Now, let's go ahead and move on to our final top 5s. So, we have the Duo Asker here. Kind of made a resurgence with the ability to run Duo Ike's, or Emblem Ike's B skill on him. So now, he can be a Lagu's friend, and he should be, because he is a beast unit himself. Gives him, essentially, Special Spiral 4 with non-pierceable DR, and then also the Special Acceleration, the Nullification of Enemies DR. Then you can also run Emblem Ike's Ring on him to get even more non-pierceable DR. So this dude ate really well from that. And then his Duo Button and his C-Skill combo is still like one of the sickest support abilities. You can just pulse your entire team by -2. And this is a reusable one as well. You can use this like more than once in a fight. Crazy duo economy, and just the amount of setups you can enable with this are just like insane. All right, next up we have probably my favorite unit ever released in this game's history. I remember when this unit first came out, like this, the honeymoon phase with this unit was so fun. Because their duo skill was literally just the I win the game button. We've never had like a more fun time than when this unit was really reigning dominance over the entire game. But now with their refine, they kind of made a resurgence, and they're really goddamn powerful right now. So their weapon is like Yune on crack, where they're debuffing all of the enemies, and then it chain debuffs by -7 to whoever has the highest of each corresponding stat: attack, speed, defense, and res. And then you also inflict sabotage on top of that. So an unlimited range debuff with all of that shit, and then it's giving them bonus damage as well, because they have the same effects as Ninja Sanaki, where they cut DR and they gain bonus damage. Then you can even pop the duo skill to gain dominance for a turn to like hit even harder. It is so difficult for armored units to tank this unit right now. Like, literally, you have to run Surveillance Shield on Myrrh and Duo Byleth for them to live a hit from this unit. And if you go ahead and do that, that's already like neutering them so badly in all the other matchups that is it really worth it? I mean, that's going to be up to you to decide, but my god, this unit, it's really fun to have them back in the game. Okay, we have Hortensia up next. I've been talking about her quite a lot, but her ability to just debuff from wherever she is on the map. She does Panic, Discord, and also I think it's Speed and Res -6, right? To the nearest foe wherever they are on the map, and then it chains to enemies within, what is it, 3 spaces of those foes? So an even sicker range on that debuff. Like, that was such a dumb idea. Like, just giving unlimited range debuffing like that is so crazy. So she can do that. You can run Restore on her so she can like fully heal people. If we ever get an auto even recovery Sacred Seal, that's going to raise her value even more, so she can provide more support. She can be a solid DPS if you need her to like attack for some reason. So just a really good unit, really nice tool to have in the shed. All right, then we got Valentine Myrrh up next, our penultimate unit here. Really nice Farsaver, and either the best or second best right now. You can now double up by running like Emblem Ike's Ring on her to get even more non-pierceable DR. So this unit is just an insane defender. What else is there to really say about her? She's got Warp Bubble, and she can support Warp Bubble by giving it to your ally with the highest defense. So Warp Bubble, as we've been talking about, is like really strong, and the reason why +1 movement and Pathfinder has overtaken Guidance 4 and Soaring Guidance. So we moved from the Warp meta to the Pathfinder meta, and this Myr and Gatekeeper are two of the reasons why that is. And then finally, we have the legendary Male Aleer, who I would say is probably the #1 colorless unit right now. Just an insane unit. Brave attacking, with DR piercing, with Miracle built in, with like full healing after he miracles, and then he's so fast. He's got Scowl built in, he's got non-pierceable DR built in. He's got Bulwark, so he can obstruct the enemies as well, but you can mix it up with his B skill. There's a lot of things you can do with him. I don't know what else to say. Like, he's just really good, and he's a really competent frontliner like we've been seeing here. Pretty much every color at the moment has a good frontliner that they can just toss in front and be the recipient of all of these support Pathfinder effects. So you can extend your reach to the stars above, and then it's double trouble for the enemies. So yeah, pretty much those would be my top 5s from each color with some honorable mentions. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.